Wandavision. Sorry about not talking about each episode a week. I kind of wanted to wait until there was like more episodes out so I could talk about more in one video. So now I was trying to go over episodes 3, 4, and 5 of WandaVision. Just a heads up, guys, this is spoilers. I'm gonna go through all kinds of spoilers, and there's these 3 episodes we're getting from WandaVision. So if you guys haven't seen it, go out and watch it. If you don't care about spoilers, then stick around, and I hope you guys enjoy yourselves while watching this. We know episode 2 ends off with Wanda getting pregnant. So in episode 3, and now they're in color, episode 3 takes place in the 60s? Yeah, 60s. And then so she's pregnant, and then she's trying to like hide the fact that she's pregnant from everyone. So, you know, it's like I said, it's like that's like the theme of this show. Like 8 is like taking on like each like decade of like that genre and just like having like something going on where it's like, yeah. So now it's going on with Wanda just trying to hide the fact that she's pregnant. There's a moment where Vision's talking to the neighbor and he's like going through the cement, like he's cutting through cement, like it's kind of looking like he's like glitching out. And there's even like later on like Vision's trying to talk to him, and then he's kind of like trying to talk to him, like trying to warn him about something, but Agnes, like they're like kind of being like, no, don't say anything, like, so he kind of just like left it out. So Vision's like aware like things are just not right about this place, so he's trying to figure it out, but it's like no one can be straight up about it with him. I swear that Agnes, like she has to be up to something. I've been seeing like she might be like that one character from the comic books. I'm not like quite sure about who her character is, but I know like she has something to do with like what's going on. Like I already know Wanda's not, it's not all just Wanda creating like this whole illusion into this town. Like she has to be up with something about it too, you know? Episode ends with Wanda finally giving birth to twins, and she gives birth to twin boys, which I was like actually expecting like a twin like a set of twins where there's a boy and a girl, like her and Pietro, which they finally mentioned his name in that episode, which I'm like they have never mentioned him literally since he died in Avengers Age of Ultron, which is like finally we got a mention of him after like almost 6 years later, which I thought that was pretty cool. And then but that lady that was trying to help her, like the lady that helped her gave birth, she ended up like realizing like she had like a necklace that like the sword symbol on her, so she finally like take her out of that reality, like boom, squirm out of there, and it's just like okay, and that's how the episode ends. It's like that lady's out of that reality, and like so it's like, and it's like they show like this town is like in a big ass force field thing. So yeah. Episode 4 is basically about what's going on the other side of that force field. So we got to know more about Miss Rambeau, is that her name? Like, yeah, Miss Rambeau. She's the same like she is like that little girl from Captain Marvel. Remember her? Because they were saying in the 90s. So now like her character is like older. Now she's like director of Sword or something like that. So, or she's the founder of Sword, something like that. I'm not quite sure, but now she's part of this agency that's like Agents of Shield. So now she's like, it even opens up kind of cool where it's like, I guess she's like one of those people that got wiped out from existence because of Thanos and Infinity War. And it was showing like that side where everyone was like getting wished back because after the Hulk brought him back in Endgame. So, and she's like last time she remembers is like being at the hospital with her mom, like recovering from from cancer, but I guess her mom ended up passing away in those 5 years again because of cancer. So it was kind of like, oh, that was like a sad moment. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool, like seeing like the other side of like how people were coming back from like getting snapped away from the Avengers movie. Not only that, we got to see my boy Agent Woo doing something, and even that one lady from the first 2 Thor movies, I'm like skipping out names here, but she's in the first 2 Thor movies, but that's it. Like that, you haven't seen her since Thor: The Dark World back in 2013. Now she's on this. Now she's on this show, and you getting to see my man Agent Woo, and you even seeing the part where he's like playing with cards. And I'm like, yes, he finally mastered it. Like, I don't know why. I thought that was like a weird. I thought that was like a cool continuity because he was trying to learn that from Scott and Ant-Man the Wasp, and the fact that he continued learning how to do that. Now he's like kind of almost perfecting it. Like, I don't know. I thought that was a cool thing about it. Like, I'm glad they did that. They do show like they're like like they're going through this town called Westview, where the show is taking place at, and so she like was noticing like, yeah, it's like a force field, but she ends up putting herself in there, and then they're kind of like monitoring like what's going on in that town. Like, it's weird. It's like we're watching. Like, there's a moment where Woo and that girl's like watching WandaVision. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, we're watching them watching WandaVision. Like, we're watching WandaVision and we're watching them. Like, I don't know why. It's like, it's weird, but it's pretty cool to see that. Episode 3 ended with her getting like Wanda's just taken her out of that reality, and then that's how episode 4 ends. It's just like her coming back and she's saying like, yeah, it's all Wanda, which I'm saying like it probably isn't all Wanda. Like, there's someone else there too, which is probably Agnes just doing something to like create this fake reality into this town. But they even showed that like the rest of the people are real, that they're like kind of like hostage in a way for this fucking town to be the way like Wanda wants it to be. So, and it kind of makes sense with some of the things that's going on in that town. So, yeah, they're like, but if you notice, there's no reports on like Agnes herself into like these missing people wall. That's part of the show. Like, they have like really nothing on her, so it's like kind of like showing that like, yeah, like she has something to do with this too. And then episode 5. Oh, episode 5. I'm starting to feel like this season is starting to get better and better by each episode. Like, I just really like that. At first, I wasn't a fan of like the whole sitcom thing, but I started getting more used to it, especially because there's like moments where like something real was happening, where it's like kind of like snapping out of that show, and I don't know why. I was like always finding that intriguing. Like in episode 5, Vision goes to work, and then they end up getting a message in like, this computer. Now it's in the 70s, and in the computer they got a message from Sword, and his Vision's like, what? And then this guy, like, he ends up like putting his like Vision ended up putting his hands on his head, like just for him to like focus, and I guess he brought out his like self-conscious like himself up, and he's just like freaking out. He's like, he doesn't know where he's at, and he's like he's like freaking out about his sister, and freaking out like you need to do something, you need to stop her. He just said her, so it could be either Wanda or Agnes, but he kept saying you need to stop her, like she's always in my head, it's not even my own thoughts. Like it was like just freaky to me. So it's like everyone's just like out of their own wills being part of this TV show, and Vision is like finally realizing what is going on. Another weird thing too, these twin boys are growing so fast. In the beginning of the episode, they're literally just babies, and then they grow into this like toddler, like little boys right here. And then they end up getting a dog, and they're like, we want to keep it, but Wanda's like, no, you need until you're a little bit older. And then they got a little bit older, which is like, oh, that's kind of freaky. And so, like later, like even later on, Wanda's like telling him, no, you don't age yourselves. No more aging yourselves like that all quick. And then, yeah, I just thought that was like weird. And then they were like telling her like, bring back our dog, because like their dog ended up dying. And they're like, please mom, like bring our dog back. Like, you brought Dead back before, like Dead back. And I was like, so it's kind of referring like she brought Vision back to life. Finally, Vision finally confronted her in the end and was like, Wanda, we need to talk. Like, this is like weird. Like, these boys are aging all quick. Like, we just got a dog, and the dog died on the same exact day. Like, and like he even like tells her like, I talked to my coworker and you're like, are you have something to do with this? And like, he's like, you can't control me like you're controlling them. And then she's like, oh, can I? And then she tries to end the episode, like you're seeing the credits rolling down and shit. He's like, no, we're gonna talk about this, even if you want to or not. And then he was like yelling at her, like, you never actually seen Vision getting this upset with Wanda before. Which I was like, yes, finally, like he's finally like standing his fucking ground. And like it even shows that he's like, I don't remember anything before Westview. Like so it's like he doesn't remember the events of like the Avengers movies and him dying, I guess, and just like I'm like, that's crazy. And like they're finally talking about it, and then you just hear a ding dong on their door, which was like, who can it be? Like I was already thinking it's probably Agnes just trying to fuck shit up, like, you know, just keep it the way it is. But they finally open the door and they're kind of lingering, like who could it be? And I'm like, can it be? And it's like, and it shows the back of the dude's head, and it's like, you know, like silver hair, and I was like, Quicksilver's back finally, which I'm like, and I was like already thinking like, is it gonna be like it's Quicksilver from Age of Ultron? But no, it's Evan Peters' Quicksilver from the X-Men movies. And I'm like, holy shit. I was screaming. I was like, oh god, really? And I really liked how like the lady that was watching it, she was like, did you recast it Quicksilver? And I was like, dude, like I was so happy that like we're finally getting Quicksilver back into this stuff. I don't know if it's gonna be for 2 episodes or whatever, but the fact that we're getting him back and it's Evan Peters is Quicksilver, because that was my favorite Quicksilver out of the 2, from like the one we got from X-Men movies and the one we got from Avengers Age of Ultron. No disrespect from the dude that we got from Age of Ultron, but I felt like they didn't really do justice with his character. But I thought he was a lot better in the X-Men movies. And to me seeing that, I'm like, oh, like I was like so happy to finally see him. Like, oh, I can't wait to see where the show goes now. Which that's like so good, because like at first I was kind of wasn't sure about the sitcoms, but like it seems like by each episode it just gets better and better and more intriguing, more interesting, more like something to watch, something to grab onto. And I feel like the show could have been where you just could have had all the episodes, and so we could watch it from like boom 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 boom, instead of just like having to wait week by week by week, because it kind of just like, because I know some shows could benefit from that, but I feel like this show doesn't. I feel like the show could do better if you just showed all the episodes all at once. But that's just me. That's how I feel about. That's how I feel like they should have done with this show. But so far, I'm like really interested. I can't wait till I probably do another video when like the next 2 episodes. Probably after episode 7, and then I'll do it, and then do another episode for the episode 8 and 9, because there's gonna be 9 episodes, so can't wait to do that. I hope you guys are watching this, because I'm really enjoying myself watching this. It's just cool, like we're finally having some more new superhero content to like talk about, to watch, and to live. It's like, I don't know, so I can't wait to see more. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I hope you guys like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time.